When and where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Greenbelt, Maryland. That was a community that Eleanor Roosevelt, President Roosevelt's wife, started. It was an experimental community because when I was born, it was the time of the Depression, the time when the country was most people were poor and they didn't have much money. And it was row houses, and it was probably, I just remember it as being a very happy childhood because there were lots of kids. We lived in a court, and there were lots of kids, and all pretty much the same age. And he grew up.
I grew up in Berwyn Heights, Maryland, which was about, 8 miles from Greenbelt, where Nana was raised.
How did you meet Papa?
Well, when we were teenagers, we had a house that we went to after school and on weekends where we could dance and have a Coke and sit and talk. And that's where we met. It was called the Drop-In. I was 15 and he was 17. That was young, wasn't it?
Did you have a favorite game?
A favorite game?
Uh-huh.
When we were kids?
When we were teenagers, we would play canasta, and whenever I won, Nana would mess up all the cards.
I didn't do that. Not really. Well, maybe sometimes I did.
How much pets did you have when you were little?
How much what?
Pets when you were
pets.
little.
You know, where I lived in a community that didn't allow pets, if you can even imagine such a thing. And I was an animal lover from the time I was born, so that just broke my heart that I couldn't have a pet. But then after a while, I guess I was probably, I think I had all 3 of my kids before I had my first pet. And I've had one ever since.
This is something I don't even know whether Nana knows or not.
What's that?
I had a pet when I was, 6 or 7 years old, and it was a mallard duck.
A
Wow.
mallard duck.
A duck?
You had a duck for your pet?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, the duck.
What was his name?
Duck.
Duck.
Duck?
What?
It didn't have a name. It was a duck.
He was the duck.
The duck?
But every once in a while, if something would chase her, she would take off and fly. And one day she took off and flew and never came back.
What was your favorite color when you were little?
Blue. Still is. Still is my favorite color. I love blue.
I would say burnt orange.
Burned
Orange?
I love that color. That's my favorite kind of orange.
Oh.
My favorite color is pink and purple.
Oh, I love those colors, yeah.
When Pop-Pop was little, what did you enjoy doing as a family?
Well, first of all, I had a very big family. And I was,
How many?
there were 8 of us.
8 kids.
Oh.
Can you believe it? 8 kids.
And I was next to the youngest. And as a family, all I can remember is we didn't do a whole lot of entertainment stuff because we didn't have any money.
Yeah, that was a bad time in the country. People didn't have much money then. Nothing like what you have, that's for sure. We mostly played with our friends
And family.
and family, yeah.
What we used to do, my sister Rosie and my neighbor kids, we used to play softball in a front yard until I got to the point where I was hitting the ball too far and I broke the late neighbor's window. So we had to quit doing that.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, that would be camping. We
Yeah.
went camping a lot. We went most weekends in the summer months, and sometimes in the spring and fall when it was cool. But we had a lot of fun camping. We went a lot of places.
I got to tell you about the tent that we started off in was a part of a military
Army
tent.
It was huge.
And
It
it was big enough to keep a picnic table in it and still have room for
In
sleeping.
fact, the first day he put it up, we heard the kids inside doing something, and we couldn't figure out what they were doing. So we went and looked, and they were playing badminton in this tent.
Batman?
Badminton. It's like tennis, only it's with a little rubber ball with feathers on it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played badminton?
Oh yeah, I do.
And we played at Pop-Pops.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought we played it at Denmark.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
the first time we set it up when we were camping, it drew a crowd.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Oh, you're
You're
welcome,
certainly welcome.
sweetheart. You're welcome.